Water makes up 70% of the Earth's surface, but is what we perceive on the surface all there is, or is there more than meets the eye? Water covers the majority of the Earth's surface and is critical to life's survival. It supports a diverse range of living forms, and many people rely on water for their survival. The oceans are far more than what we see on the surface. A world of color, life and beauty awaits us beneath the waves. There are untold numbers of life forms, with many more still to be discovered. Scuba diving is more than just going to an aquarium and looking at undersea life in a glass case. It is natural exploration of their natural habitat and observation of their daily activities. Similarly to astronauts, scuba divers experience the feeling of weightlessness underwater. Because you are weightless underwater, you can go wherever you want and be a part of the aquatic life. The divers of Dive Spirit at Mauritius were kind enough to share their experiences and knowledge on their profession.
My name is Charlene. I've been living in Mauritius the last 3 years as a full-time scuba instructor. Before that, I was living in Hong Kong and also Japan, so a good chunk of my life I've been in Asia, but working in the corporate world. So this is a bit of a career shift for me.
So my name is Love, and I'm a part-time dive master here at Dive Spirit. So normally during weekends or during my off days, I come here, teach a few classes, or go on a few dives.
So my name is Thierry. I'm a dive instructor of Dive Spirit School. I've been working for diving for at least more than 20 years. So I've got more than about 16 to 20,000 dives. So I'm a professional diver for PADI.
What do you like about diving?
What's not to like about diving? It's beautiful. I like being underwater. I like the freedom. I like teaching other people how to do the same thing. I like helping people overcome their fears and experiencing what it's like underwater as well. What's not to like?
There's lots of things to like about diving. For example, you have a feeling of weightlessness when you dive. You have the friendships you make with other divers, and especially the many different varieties of living things and plants that you can see underwater. It's like a whole new world.
Oh, diving, I like teaching also, teaching students, okay, those who have never been diving before. So we take them for a pool session, and if everything okay in the pool, then we take them to the sea so they can see what's going on underwater.
What is considered to be the golden rule in scuba diving?
There are several golden rules in scuba diving, but most divers agree that never holding your breath is the golden rule of scuba diving.
How would you describe underwater life?
Underwater life is very vast. You have a lot of different varieties of insects, fishes, amphibians, even plants. You have several types of varieties, but it depends on the climate, the depth at which you are at. You can see different things based on these factors.
So underwater life, it's magical because there's many different colors. There's fish that you can see. You can see coral. Sometimes you can see, sometimes when there's cyclone, which part can be damaged. So we try to do our best to remove all our plastic underwater to keep them alive.
Fascinating, beautiful, inspiring, enchanting, many.
Underwater, you receive a sensation of freedom that you don't get on land. There is no work stress, no cell phones, and no distractions. It is just you and the aquatic life. You are introduced to a whole new and different universe. It is really relaxing, similar to when you meditate. There is no sound of vehicles or people, only the sound of bubbles. A scuba diver's life is unquestionably one of exploration and discovery. How do you communicate with other divers while underwater?
So underwater we cannot talk and can't even hear properly. So we use dive signals, hand signs. For example, okay, going up, down, etc.
Normally hand signals, there's standard hand signals that we use for various safety things in particular. We also have hand signals for particular types of marine life, but also people can understand your facial expressions still too. As long as you've got clear lenses in your masks, you can read a lot what people are thinking in their face.
How has global warming affected our marine environment?
Global warming has severely affected the diving industry, especially at Mauritius, because there's a huge difference in what we used to see underwater from 10 years ago and now. For example, now you have to go further and further away and look for new dive sites because the old ones have the corals have died, the liveliness of the place is gone and everything.
A lot of things have been impacting the marine environment at the same time. So the global warming is part of it. You see a lot of the coral bleaching in various reefs around the world, but reefs can come back from this. It doesn't necessarily mean the reefs have died. It's also, I think, the global warming compounded by people littering, for example, and not being aware of the impact that they're having on the environment itself. To be a diver and see what happens there is one of the things for me. I try to encourage other people to dive because if they can see what it's like underwater, they have more interest in protecting it as well.
It's natural, so we need to try our best, human beings, try to save our coral and our underwater animals underwater.
The oceans, as vital as they are, to all living things are under threat from man-made elements. It has been mistreated for man-made selfish objectives to the point where the ocean's temperature has risen as a result of global warming hurting the marine life. What are the benefits of doing scuba diving?
So scuba diving is a very physical and intense activity. So definitely there are like benefits to your health, to your overall health and general fitness. But there's also like the happy feeling that you get when you dive. For example, you meet new people, you make connections, you make new friends, and the feeling of just being underwater is very relaxing. It's almost like meditation.
It's an awesome stress release. It's great exercise. You meet fantastic people. Just being underwater and floating, the feeling is really cool. And you can't not learn. Every dive you go on, you will pick up something new. You will see new life that you've never noticed before. It's just a really fun hobby to get into, a fun sport to get into.
Scuba diving keep you healthy, okay? Good humor, okay? Make many friends, okay? See many different people, okay? All of this kind of thing.
Tell us about your best experiences of diving.
My best experience of diving is sometimes like very many people that they are scared like diving with sharks. So we try to find our best to see sharks underwater or whale sharks.
I think one of my favourites, I was fortunate enough to be doing volunteer work as a diver in Madagascar on one of the volunteer programs there. We were coming back from a fish survey one day. We were on our Zodiac coming back to our base camp, and we saw in an area they've never seen manta rays before. Manta rays. This is fantastic. And they came up to each of us, and each manta ray, there were two of them, came up along our legs, up our bodies, and then moved on to the next person. Then the next one came up and did the same thing, moved on to the next person. To see an animal that's bigger than I am doing this to a whole group of us, it's just, and no fear, they're just curious too. It was just, yeah, I can't even describe how fantastic it was.
Walk us through a typical day at the dive center.
We get here generally pretty early in the mornings to make sure that things are ready for our divers. We normally set up all the tanks for our divers unless they prefer to do it themselves or they're doing a course, because this is how you learn. There's dive centres around the world that expect you to do it all yourself, which is fine. So you definitely need to know how to do this to start with. So most of us get here quite early. We get all the tanks ready. We make sure that the tanks are full first. We get all the wetsuits prepared. We fill up the buckets for rinsing equipment after dives. We plan out the dive day to make sure we've got people grouped of similar levels in different dive groups, that they're all going to dive sites in a similar area, so you don't have the boat going massive areas across the ocean, because you want to make sure that people are safe too. If anything happens, you want the boat be able to be close to all the divers. And then, we take groups of divers out diving, or we're teaching in the pool, and then we take those ones out diving. Then we come back to the boat, back to the dive centre, tea, coffee, water, and then we do it all again. So that's one half of the day. We come back after our second dive, clean up a little. If we don't have a night dive, we use that time to then prepare our equipment, like fix anything that might have broken or whatever, refill some tanks, things like this, and then start to prepare a little bit for the following day as well. And we do all our self-learning too. You need to improve as dive instructors as well. You can't just stay still. So it's a nice day. It's quite a physical day, and there's a lot of chatting with people, a bit like what I'm doing now, helping people fill out their logbooks, making sure they understand their dive computers, things like this. And then after the dive centre is closed for the day, there's all the admin that goes with running the dive centre. So maintaining websites, Facebook, Instagram, emails to everyone, the phone calls to everyone. So yeah, it's a big day, big evening.
Do you have any message for our aspiring scuba divers?
My message would be like to give scuba diving a try, and I think that most people tend to have a negative perception of scuba diving, that it's dangerous and everything, mainly because of movies, but I think you should try it.
So for scuba divers, so I will say to them, always continue diving, okay? And try to bring in other people, those who don't know underwater life, so try to bring them for diving.
Come and do it. Everyone, or most people, are nervous to start with. Total normal reaction, given it's not natural for people to breathe underwater. But once you start and you can start to overcome this fear, you can't not then want to get back in. And the smiles on people's faces once they start, it's so cool. I can't believe more people don't do it. And especially in Mauritius, we live on a tropical island paradise. You're on an island. That there's not more divers already that are local divers here, it's really surprising to me. But it'd be nice to get more people in.
On Earth, man-made structures predominate over natural structures. Cities outnumber forests and trees, yet underwater, nature reigns supreme. The search for underwater life is both endless and never-ending. There are many secrets that are yet to be fully revealed.